Welcome to Waco Miniature Games. I'm BJ Williams, and in this episode, we're going to be taking a Marauder army, which is space orcs with guns. And we've already painted the flesh on them, we've painted the khakis on them, and now we're going to go back and paint the guns and everything metal. That's right, this is a heavy metal episode. As we paint through them, you can hear me commentate on them and talk a little bit about the game and a little bit how we're painting. If you are interested, I will also have the entirety of the painting of these miniatures, not sped up, also posted here if you'd enjoy just watching me paint and listening to my stream of conscious thought process. So, without further ado, let's get in and do some painting.
All right, here we go. The next thing we're going to paint is going to be the guns on these guys, on the orcs. And what I'm going to use for that is, it's metallic gunmetal gray, and I'm actually using the folk art one. I find that the metals at Walmart seem to work out just fine. You just have to store them upside down to make sure the stuff that makes it look metal just works its way down to the bottom. I'm going to put some gunmetal gray here into my palette. You know, a lot of people use the water palettes, and those are excellent. I have not gotten into the water palettes yet. I'm sure at some point that I might venture into that area, but as of right now, that's not where I'm at. I'm going to move all of my orcs down here onto the below, so that as I finish them, I can move them up, and it's like this is the victory zone. Yay! Once they get up into there. So let's go ahead and jump right in and start on my first orc right here. I'm just going to take that gunmetal gray and I'm going to paint all over there. Just make sure I got a lot of it in there. Make sure I don't want to leave anything blank. Got to be a little bit more careful as I get down near the fingers. Run across. I may experiment a little bit today too, and look not only at the gunmetal gray, but perhaps I'll try some of them with the silver and see if the silver would work just as well. Because I have a silver that's a little bit lighter color, it might give it a better look. Now the option is though that if I don't use the silver on this part, I can always go back and use the silver. I'll put this on here. Looks like I need to go back though and put a little bit more green eventually. I've had to do a little bits of touch up, but not very much. But here we'll put the gun right there. Looking all right. Flip it over because the gun does have two sides, which means I got to get in here tight and do the inside of the gun as well. You want to make sure you have the whole gun, all of it painted. I'm moving some paints around because I'm just starting to paint again, and want to make sure I have places to rest my elbow as I paint, so that when I'm doing that, I am not messing anything up. Getting the rest of this inside here. Looking good on the orc. Make sure I get every little bit on the inside so that our orc's gun is usable. We would hate to have the orc have a gun that for some reason wouldn't work because it wasn't metallic enough. All right, there's our first orc right there with explanation. That's 3 minutes on that first guy. We're not going to explain everything for the rest of them. We're just going to start jumping in and painting.
You will notice here, as the paintbrush moves up and down across, well, you would notice if you could have seen it. I continue to dip below. Nope, he's trying to hide right there. That's a commando in hiding. That's exactly right. Yes, he's trying to make sure you can't see him. The camouflage underneath the picture is absolutely fantastic. I really am painting this guy. I am not hiding it from you because somebody else is coming up from below and painting it. Though that would be kind of an interesting idea if I were to do that. Here comes our second guy here. Paintbrush moving back and forth across the gun as quick as possible. Don't want to forget the other side of the gun, and going to be moving into the shoulder area here in a moment. But I got to get in all those nooks and crannies. It's kind of tough to move around the hand because you're going to make sure you didn't put it there. I forgot the shoulder or the elbow pad. Went right past it. That elbow pad was just left there. Nothing to see. So going on to the next orc. Probably should name the orcs. If I named them, it might be more interesting, except for you can't even see this guy. You'd think I'd keep it more on the screen, but there he is again. Yep, there he is. Bertrand. We'll say that was Bertrand right there. This next one right here, we're painting up. Again, I'm not hiding it underneath the screen so that somebody else can paint it, though it may look like that currently. There is a knuckle. That's what you can see right now is a knuckle. There we go. Back into nope. We thought for just a moment there you'd be able to. Oh, we're back again. All right. And the next one here we're going to paint up. You can see that I am doing some painting here. Making sure that I get all of it. This guy has quite the interesting look on his face. Actually, it's not a look. It's actually more of a gas mask on his face. Painting it up here, putting there. Trying to decide while I'm painting this, should I actually paint the gas mask this color? At this time I decide not to, but then I actually end up going back and painting it that color. Again, I've got to make sure I move these up onto the screen a little bit more. If you'll remember when I began this project, I said I was learning, and as I learn, I'll realize that I need to be paying a little bit closer attention to making sure the miniature is on screen when I'm painting them. That's a little bit, oh, there he goes. That does look pretty good. I'm quite proud of that one there, you can tell, because I held it up in front of the camera for just a moment. Continuing to paint, wondering. Apparently the guns were given to them by the same group that runs the Enforcers. That's the way that the orcs didn't have to actually develop them themselves. Though I wonder what kind of guns they would have. I'm not doubting that orcs could actually produce guns themselves. Probably get in there. Oh, this guy right here. I want to make sure that I paint the bullets. The bullets are going to be two different colors. I'm going to run a streak right down the side, and then I'll use a different color a little bit later to accent the tips of the bullet so you can see what actually is being fired. Right there, that's where I'm running the paintbrush down and making sure that's on screen. That's probably painting those bullets, probably the best part of the whole video right there. And now we're getting ready to look at and see our actual commander. So I'm going to turn it back over here again to, well, original me, who's actually doing the painting.
And that will complete. Pull some of this out so that you can see some of those areas a little bit better, like so. And this will complete all of our guns.
Now that we completed painting the guns, it's a sudden realization that there's more to the miniature that actually is going to need these metal bits. Right here you can see the knee pads. Those are metal knee pads we want to put on there. We want to cover them over, putting some paint on the grenades that he has as well on his body. And here I go back and I realize that I had forgotten the elbow pad on this guy. Actually, I painted it over in khaki originally. Now it's going to be metal. Going back through, getting the grenades on all of them. No grenades on the back of that guy. But you look at the boots. These boots, wow, those knees, they got the spikes right there. I wouldn't want to be kicked by those guys. These boots were made for fighting, and that's just what they'll do. I hope these boots never happen to kick any of you. That'd be quite painful. So getting the elbow pad there, and then going after, oh, that's an entire metal arm, but we still have the bullet holes there, so it looks like the bullets penetrated through them. And then another set of boot kickers. That's right, boot kickers. If those guys have to go into hand-to-hand combat, they are prepared. Prepared with not only their weapons, the guns, but if anyone should get close to them, many of them have those spikes This guy right here, he's mainly for protection. He's just got the knee pads, but he does have several grenades there. None on the, oh, there's one on the back. Make sure we include that as well. We bring in our next guy here. He's got another grenade on the back, 2 of them actually. He hasn't used any of his yet. And we're going to paint right there on the knee pads. Once again, man, if you got kneed by this guy, it would be a very painful experience. Here's the shoulder. Once again, looking at the face. Should I paint the face here with the metallic color because he is wearing a gas mask? Try to decide while I paint up on the knees. Decide not to. Continue on. Painting up the knee pads on this guy. The shoulder, because the shoulder has some sort of metallic section there. Kind of some shoulder pads, like an 80s suit. That's right. That guy's a 80s suit kind of guy. Oh, this guy has some rough ridges on his boots. Ridges on the boots. And we're going to get those kickers there as well. And he's also got the 80s shoulder pad thing going on there. Must be a Marauder thing now. 80 shoulder pads and Marauders. We're almost to our leader now, I can tell, because we're painting this guy up, and that means that I'm going to turn it over because I really like to hear what I have to say about the leader, slow it down, and see how he gets painted.
All right, and now we got our leader. Our leader, he is decked out, so we're going to need to make sure that all of his bullets on his chest are metallic. I think he'd be very proud of those. And he also has a hand grenade here. We'll go ahead and with the top of that little spiky shoes. And this guy is gonna, these boots were made for stomping, and that's what he's gonna do. One of these days, I hope these boots don't get anywhere near close to you, because they would look like they'd be painful. And on the back, he's already used whatever that was, but I almost forgot this earlier. He likes to keep some extra bullets here on his arm. So we're gonna bulletize his arm here, at least to wherever the strap was. There we go. All right. We've added some more colors to our soldiers, and we'll be ready to come back for more a little bit later.